We'll get some stragglers coming in and such as it does, as we know that there's certain conditions out there to get through. My name is Councillor Sheila O'Leary. I'm a councillor here with the City of St. John's, and I'm going to be the moderator for this evening. I basically am one of the representatives from the Coalition for Alternatives to Pesticides, Newfoundland and Labrador, who is basically hosting this particular event, this forum tonight. And we have some special guests here that are going to speak to the floor, and I will take our time and introduce them from the floor. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank you all for coming out, because it is hard in February to come out to such an event. And certainly I would like to make note of some of the people who are, first of all, involved with the coalition themselves, who worked very hard, volunteers that are in this room as well. We have some notable guests here. We have our MHA Lorraine Michael in the audience. We have Mayor Bob Codner from Torbay, and our Deputy Mayor Shani Duff, and Councillor Frank Galgay of Ward 2. And if there's anybody else that I have missed, my extreme apologies, but you're all equal in my eyes, and I'm glad that you're all here. So first and foremost, I'll introduce and give a little bio of the people that are here at the panel. And what we will do is we'll give a brief 5-minute session representing all of the interests of the people along the panel here. And then we will give our guest speaker, Gideon Foreman, who has come down from Ontario to speak specifically to this issue. And he will basically have the floor for a period of time. After all of the speeches are done and the presentations are done, we would certainly welcome people to ask as many questions as going firms. In 2004, Gideon became Executive Director of the Canadian Association of Physicians for the Environment, or known as CAPE, and an organization whose membership grew 12-fold under his tenure. In 2008, he led a campaign to ban lawn and garden pesticides across Ontario. The campaign resulted in the most health-protective pesticide legislation in North America. Under his leadership, CAPE has won a Canadian Environment Award, a Gold Award, a Citizens Bank Shared Interest Award, a Public Service Award from Ontario Nature, and a Virtuoso Award from the International Association of Business Communicators. So that tells you a little bit about Gideon, and he certainly will take the floor shortly. Next to Gideon Foreman, we have Dr. David Saltman, and Dr. David Saltman is the chair of the discipline of oncology in the Faculty of Medicine at Memorial University of Newfoundland. He is a practicing medical oncologist and has a PhD in cancer cell biology. His current interests include cancer drug development and healthcare advocacy. And we will also hear from Dr. Saltman there shortly. To my right is Councillor Paula Tessier, and we're delighted to have Paula here this evening. She's filling in the shoes for Mayor of Mount Pearl, Randy Sims, but we're delighted to have her. Councillor Paula Tessier was first elected to the Mount Pearl City Council on September 27th, 2005. A long-time volunteer in the city, Paula recognizes the importance of being involved in your community and with its residents. Professionally, Paula proudly works with the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation Atlantic Region as the coordinator of community development for Newfoundland and Labrador, a position she finds extremely rewarding. Paula is currently chairperson of the Public Works Committee, is a member of the Corporate Services Committee, and has enjoyed working with the Planning and Land Use Development Committee, of which she is currently an alternate member. Paula is the chair of the Northeast Avalon Regional Plan Leadership Team, and has been pleased to be chair of the advisory committee with Mount Pearl's Housing and Homelessness Study. And so we welcome you, Paula. Thank you for coming. And to my left here, we have my colleague, Councillor Debbie Hanlon, who is from Chance Cove, and which I didn't know, and is in her second term as Ward 4 councillor with the City of St. John's. She is the founder and president of Hanlon Realty, and was past president of the Newfoundland and Labrador Organization of Women Entrepreneurs, the Newfoundland and Labrador Publishers Association, and the Single Parents Association of Newfoundland. Debbie is currently chair of the city's Economic Development Committee and represents the City of St. John's on the municipality's Newfoundland and Labrador Board of Directors. and serves as chair of the Communications Committee in that capacity. So we welcome Debbie Hanlon to our panel as replacement for Mr. Craig Pollitt, Executive Director of MNL, who also had other obligations this evening. But again, we're delighted to have Debbie. She's very active with MNL in that capacity. And our final, last but not least, our bio here is Paul Bowdring is to my far left, and Paul Bowdring is a member. He is our co-chair of the Coalition for Alternatives to Pesticides. He's a writer and editor, and the Eastern co-chair of the Provincial Coalition for Alternatives to Pesticides, the sponsor of this public forum, and he is replacing Dr. Ian Simpson on the panel. Dr. Ian Simpson couldn't get in from the West Coast due to weather issues. So Dr. Simpson is the Coalition's Western co-chair, and his flight from Deer Lake was cancelled. So I'd like to say thank you for all the panelists to come out and all of the people in the audience. What we're going to do now is I'm going to turn the microphone over to Dr. David Saltman. Each of the panelists will have a 5-minute piece to give their presentation, and we'll move forward from there. So thank you, Dr. David Saltman. Just press that.